I call this meeting to order at 6:01 p.m. on September 15th, 2021. We'll begin with a roll call. Please say here or present if you are here. Advait. Atagarla. Ulrich.
Present.
Brecht.
Here.
Blythe.
Here.
Carter.
Here.
Claiborne. Cooper.
Here.
Crabb.
Here.
DeVore.
Here.
Filippi. Finaldi.
Here.
Gates.
Here.
Goff.
Here.
Hayes.
Here.
Lent. Mahoney.
Here.
Rios. McCready.
Here.
Paulson.
Here.
Rizvik.
Here.
Ruley.
Here.
Seth.
Here.
Simmons.
Here.
Skaggs. Stott.
Here.
Horton. Wagmeister.
Here.
Weathers.
Here.
Yang. Zuber. We'll move on to the Pledge of Allegiance, led by Speaker Weathers.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Move on to our program for tonight, which is with our Outreach Director, Christian.
Hello everyone, I hope you're all having an amazing Wednesday. It's nice to see some new faces, so I want to personally welcome you all. If you haven't met me yet, my name is Christian Grunsteiner. I'm the Director of Outreach here for Student Government. And I just wanted to let you guys know of this new event that Vice Speaker Crabb and I have been planning for a little bit. You probably have been getting a few emails from me and been seeing some things around. It's called Outreach Week. So as you can see on the slide, Outreach Week is next week, starting September 20th, and it goes through September 24th. If we want to do the next slide, please. So you may be wondering, what is Outreach Week? We just thought that we just needed a week that is just dedicated to outreach and just reaching out to the student community so that they know who we are and what we do. So it's just a massive outreach effort during next week. So students know about our resources, our representatives, or our senators, and who represents them, what we do with their activity fee so that they're well aware, and how we support them. And it's also a great opportunity to collaborate with other organizations. I currently have confirmed groups such as Student Health and Wellness, Green Dot, and the Sustainability Committee that's going to be with us. So it's a great opportunity to just collaborate with some other organizations. And it's a great opportunity for senators to reach out to their constituents so that they know who's representing who. And since you guys have been voted in by them, it's just be nice for them to know you and for you to get to know them. So here is a schedule of events with Outreach Week. So every day there's going to be a tabling session Monday through Friday from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. And they are 1-hour shifts each. And like I said, on Monday it is sustainability, and I didn't have a chance to update yet, but Wednesday is Green Dot, and Friday is Student Health and Wellness. And I am finalizing some other organizations, so that will be updated momentarily. You guys may be aware about this, but we do have a mass whiteboarding event with student government. This is Monday, September 20th from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. We do need a minimum of 30 people for this to be effective and efficient, so it's not a waste of everyone's time. And so far, I only have 12 people signed up, so it would be fantastic if I had more than 12 by Monday. So that'd be just a great time for us to get to know each other more and to just kind of go out across campus and just whiteboard and chalkboard on all the classrooms about student government, because personally that's how students might know more about us. This is required from all student government members, but Crabb and I have been requiring students to speak at their classes. So to do this, you just reach out to your professor and say that you just need a few minutes of their time at the beginning or at the end of class, just talk about student government about a little bit and what you do, and speak at organizational meetings. The best way to let me know about classes is to BCC Crabb or I about it, so we can just mark you off our list. If you can go to the next slide, please. So this is where you'll be signing up for all of our tabling sessions. It is on the MIS page and it's under the Outreach Week tab. As you can see, it is looking a little sparse right now. I am hoping to get a few more names up there so that it's full and a nice, happy little board. So we do need a lot of help on Thursday. I see that we don't have any names from noon to 2 o'clock. And we do need a lot more names for our whiteboarding so we can get that going. So at the end of this meeting, if you guys could sign up, that would be fantastic. It'd be a great way for you guys to interact with your constituencies and to interact with the community as elected senators. And that is where you'll write down what club or organization you're meeting with. Again, it is a little sparse. I would like to see it filled up by Monday because it is required. So that's where you'll put that in so we know which club or organization you're meeting with, and it is totally optional about which club you're meeting with. For example, I'm part of Homecoming, so I put down the Homecoming Central Committee by my name. And if you just scroll over to a little bit on the right, that's where that tab will be. Tabling 101. So here are some tips on how to table. So number one, you want to be approachable. You don't want to be that grumpy college student who literally just woke up and is just trying to get their outreach hours in. You want to look like you're happy and having the time of your life. But you also don't want to bother students if they look like they're in a rush. So if they look like they're late for class or a lab or exam, you don't want to stop them and be like, hey, let's talk about student government. But they have other things on their mind. And you also don't want to like try and reach out to people who have AirPods or headphones in because that's just a little awkward. And it's just awkward for both people. So after you get their attention, you kind of introduce yourself, say how you're involved with student government, what you do, some fun facts about it, and just the basics of student government. So just serve students through advocacy and empowerment, work with other organizations, the Ames community, and the administration. And committees, there's something for everyone. I'm an event management major. I literally should not be here, but here I am. So there's always something for everyone, and that's what I really love about student government. So you can really hammer home that fact. And ask for questions and ask if they're interested, that they could sign the email paper so we can get their name on our listserv. So if they want updates or if they want to ask questions about committees, that's what will happen. And then at the end, you can offer freebies before they leave, like our student government chip clips and stickers, which our fantastic PR team worked on. Next slide, please. Expectations. Please be respectful of students' time. Don't take 10 years explaining student government because you will lose interest. Also be professional since you are representing student government. People are looking at you as official members, so please be professional and respectful. And most importantly, this is the most important point tonight, so if this is the only thing you remember this, it's to contribute. This Outreach Week is going to be a team ordeal. We can't do it with just 10 or 5 people who want to sign up all the time for tabling, and as elected officials, it is your duty to help contribute and help student government to be successful in reaching out to the community, since it is one of student government's goals. And it is a great way to reach out to your constituencies who did vote you into student government. So I think that would be a great opportunity to do that as well as your duty as senators. Also, don't be too pushy when tabling. If someone obviously isn't interested, just move on. Don't make it awkward for everyone. Throughout the week, if you have any questions or you're unsure of anything, you can email Vice Speaker Crabb or I. We are happy to help, and most importantly, just have fun. You know, it's going to be a great time. We'll have so much fun with the other organizations who are going to be tabling with us, and my favorite is the whiteboarding, which will be happening on Monday, because we will be having some pizza if you show up, but we need 30 people. So that will be a little difficult with how sparse it is right now. So yeah, just have fun. It's going to be a great week. And if you have any questions during the week, you can just reach out to us. But other than that, that is all I have, and I am open for any questions, comments, or concerns that you guys may have.
Senator Seth?
First of all, I need my name tag, wherever that is. But I just want to ask, so you said something about there being a listserv, an email listserv that students can sign up for. What exactly is on that listserv? Like I want to be on the list, there's a lot of times who are, trying to let us know like what exactly we're getting from it. So can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, so we currently have a listserv for students who are interested in student government. So that email list is just mostly updates from student government. That's just kind of our targeted audience whenever we send emails out to people. And it's also a great contact way for them if they have any questions, because we'll be sending out emails through that as well. And I know that we have been getting some questions through that email listserv that I believe Ludwig is taking care of. So bless that man, but we've been using that to just send it out to our targeted audiences about updates.
Okay, thank you for that clarification. And then my second question is, can you just explain a little bit more about what the whiteboarding is? Like, I kind of understand it, but I guess I'm just a little fuzzy about what it exactly entails.
Yeah, so whiteboarding is basically when we'll gather around at the West Student Office Space, and then we'll split up into groups, and then we'll go around campus, and we'll go into classrooms, and we'll be writing on the whiteboards like, join student government, and look online at this website, www.studgov.istate.edu. So it's just doing that in every whiteboard or chalkboard in the classrooms across campus, which is why 30 people are suggested for that task. Thank you.
Looks like President Campbell has some comments.
Christian, thanks for all of your work on this. I wanted to ask, for you and everyone involved, what would success look like coming out of Outreach Week? What are some metrics that we could all kind of reference to say, how are we helping and what are we working to contribute towards, whether that be number of people added to the listserv, more people coming to meetings? What would success be in your eyes?
Yeah, success could be a lot of things for us. Basically, my main goal for Outreach Week is for students to just be more aware of student government, because I know that some people are like, oh, student government, what's that? We don't even know what that is, or they'll hear about it, but they're not really that interested in it. I know I was aware of it before I joined, and but I got like emails from them. I was like, wow, maybe I should join. So some success that I would like to see is more names on the listserv. At Club Fest, that was a huge success. We filled multiple pieces of paper with names. It was just really, really encouraging to see people that are actually interested. And that's how we had more people join Election Commission and some other new faces in our Senate seats, which is really exciting. But some metrics that I would like to see is just more names on our email list and just more follows on our Instagram, since we will be promoting that as well. So it's just basically more awareness and having other organizations working with us so that we kind of share that spotlight with others as well.
Senator Mahoney.
I was just curious, where is the tabling exactly?
So tabling, thank you, I forgot to mention that. That's over by the Parks Library. So it's going to be a red tablecloth that says student government on it. Can't miss it.
Thank you.
Vice Speaker Crowd.
Also, I wanted to add, committee applications are open right now, and we're trying to fill a lot of our at-large seats as well. I think this will be a really good way to pique the interest of students and hopefully get our committees super, super filled. And like Christian was at-large last year in PR, and now we see him in Director of Outreach. So that's kind of the roles we're trying to fill for the future. So that's also one of like our main goals.
Senator Hayes.
In the event of like rain or something, is there tabling going to be moved indoors?
So there are options to table inside the MU. So I have talked with the event management office about that, and they said that should be all right in case it does rain during the week. So it won't hamper any plans.
Is there any other questions or comments for our speaker? All right, thanks so much, Christian.
Perfect. Thank you so much, guys.
All right, next we'll move into open forum. Open forum is a time for students to discuss issues relevant to them. So if you please approach the podium and say your name and major.
Hello, I'm Ryan Hurley. I'm a senior in marketing and just general business. I'd like to thank all you fellow senators for being here. I really appreciate your time. I have a few important announcements to make. And before I hopped into that, I wanted to really focus on, I recently wrote an award-winning article on brutalism on campus. And the outpouring of support has been just fantastic. So in the interest of my supporters, I wanted to read a couple quotes from them. I think it's very important. Senator Blythe, can you turn off your computer? Yeah, it's open forum. So let me read some of these nice quotes. This person writes, MWL residence halls are something of an eyesore. Another person says, I agree with Ryan Hurley. Another person says, good old Ryan Hurley, making sure to prioritize ISU. Yet another says, the students all want better living facilities. Another, my favorite one, says, I'm a giant among men. So true. They originally used that to talk about Nelson Mandela. And I have not hit that level yet of greatness, but who knows? These comments truly inspire me. I feel honored to have so many people love me, so many people support me, so many people help me, and even the people who don't, support me, they motivate me, really. There's a quote from a rapper, and he says, haters are my motivators. That's how I feel. I'm a rapper, So I'm going to continue on this current vein with my critiques on things like art around campus. I wrote another soon-to-be award-winning article on the art of campus. I think a lot of it just looks disgusting. I think most modern art looks disgusting. Such a shame that we aren't putting that beautiful stuff like Grant Wood. That was beautiful. I'd rather have that than cube buildings, things to that effect. So that will be published soon in the Daily, which the Daily, it must be defunded. Simply put, it's a mess of an organization, not serious people, a lot of incompetence I've seen. I'd recently asked a while back, I said, when can I expect this article to be published? And somebody at the Daily said, I don't know. That's your job. You're supposed to know these things. It's fairly simple. So, I think that defunding the Daily is probably the top concern of Iowa State. I think it has to be done. Simply put, they're not matching the investment that we put into them. I think we could cut it to like $500 would be a nicer ballpark range. So, talking about the Daily, there's people who there, and people in here too, who call me their enemies. And they say, Ryan, it's not good that you have so many enemies. It's so bad that you have so many enemies. And it reminded me of a quote by my favorite president, the person who I hope to be in the future, Theodore Roosevelt. He was a giant among men. I'll read that. Oh, wait. Wrong order of quotes. I'm sorry. This one is a quote from Huey Long, a Louisiana senator. I'd much rather get up before the legislature and say, now this is a good law and it's for the benefit of the people, and I'd like you to vote for it in the interest of the public welfare. Laws aren't made that way, sadly. You have to fight fire with fire. That's so true. It really rung true to me. And that follows into a Teddy Roosevelt quote. This one goes, "Whose face is marred by dust, sweat, and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes short again and again, because there is no effort without error and shortcoming. But who does actually strive to do the deeds? Who knows great enthusiasms, the great devotions? Who spends himself in a worthy cause? Who at the best knows in the end the triumph of a high achievement? And who at the worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who neither know victory nor defeat." That's a pretty heavy quote, you know. I had to, when I first read that, I had to let it sink in for a little. And I think really you could read any Teddy Roosevelt, and it's some of the smartest stuff you'll ever read. He's a genius, absolutely. And the final thing, I was luckily chosen to represent Iowa State student government at a national conference next month. I really look forward to that. So if any senator or constituent, you know, I'm listening to you, don't worry, my constituents. But anyone who has any concerns that they want brought up at this, please inform me, because I'm going to be representing student government. So I want to represent everyone here. With that, I'm going to use my remaining 10 minutes as a moment of silence for those still stuck in Afghanistan, those American troops still stuck in Afghanistan. How long do I have?
You have 3 minutes and 7 seconds.
Okay, I'll let that be the moment of silence. I just wanted you to, it's a moment of silence, you know. Thank you.
Your time has expired.
Thank you to all the senators who paid attention to that.
All right, moving on to adopting the agenda for tonight. Are there any additions or changes to tonight's agenda? Speaker Weathers.
I move to pick dance marathon line item transfer off from the table.
It's been a motion to move the dance marathon line item transfer off the table.
Second.
It's been seconded. Is there any objection to adding that to tonight's agenda? Right, it's been added and taken off the table. Speaker Weathers.
I move to add 2021-2-008 SA, approving the advisor contract with student engagement to the top of new business.
Been a motion to move 2021-2-008 to the top of new business. Is there a second? Any objection? All right, we'll move that to the top of new business. Any other additions or changes to tonight's agenda? All right, Steen. It's been a motion to adopt tonight's agenda and seconded. Any objection? Tonight's agenda has been adopted. Moving on to the approval of minutes from last week. Is there a motion to approve the minutes from last week? And it's been moved and seconded to approve the minutes from last week. Any objection? All right, they've been approved. Moving on to committee reports, we'll begin with Rules Committee with Speaker Weathers.
Okay, hello everyone, welcome back. Rules Committee doesn't have a lot to update you all on. We saw move in to consider as read the phenomenally named bylaw bill. That passed favorably unanimously, but it does have amendments. It was just switching some wording around. It keeps with the intent, but we thought that it fit better with the bylaws, caused less problems. Also, we saw the contract that we're going to see tonight informally, so we didn't give a vote on it because technically it hadn't been sent to us as a Rules Committee. But we didn't have any problem with the language of the contract, so we don't have anything to add on that. And this isn't strictly germane to rules, but I just want to say there's some new senators tonight, and so as we're going around giving committee reports, if you have any open positions on your committees, please share that with the Senate at large.
All right, moving on to Finance Committee with Finance Director Zastro.
Howdy, y'all. Sorry, I realized as soon as we started doing committee reports that I have not sent out my report to you all over email, so I will get that out to you during the meeting. So yesterday in Finance Committee, we started PNC review. If you guys have any opinion about PNC, also for those of you who regularly reach out to your constituents, if they have opinions on PNC, and if they're club treasurers, they probably do, please get them to me. I would really appreciate those throughout this process. We'll be doing it for most of the fall. So there's a pretty long runway. For those of you who aren't on Finance Committee, I'd also encourage you to just read through PNC, please. And if you do that and you have any thoughts, any finance senator or me would be happy to take them. Lydia Youngquist is also, our treasurer is also on Finance Committee. Jay has something to say, but I'm not going to yield my time to him yet. I don't think I can yield this privilege anyway. So yesterday in Finance Committee, we also saw a Green Initiatives Fund application, our very first one of the year. This is a project headed by our Director of Sustainability, Smith, and Senator Seth. It is the Sustainability Retreat, and so we amended that and sent it back to Sustainability Committee for final approval. We will be hearing more about that probably from Senator Seth at some point, maybe in a closing statement. We'll see. Yeah, so I believe that is all I had. Short report. We'll be having a lot coming up in the next couple weeks. I think in the past 3 days, I've got maybe 7 or 8 funding applications. So we'll be getting a lot of those. At-large positions are open. If you know anybody who'd be interested in being an at-large on the committee, please have them reach out to me. The application is also on the Finance Committee page on the Student Government website. Yeah, if there are any questions, I'm happy to take them.
All right. Moving on then to Senior Director of Communications, Johnson.
Hi, everyone. Just a few updates. So our at-large PR committee applications are open, like most of the other committees. Since the mass email went out yesterday, we've had 4 new applications, so that's pretty exciting to fill all those at-large spots. And then additionally, our clothing order is in progress. So Senator Lent and then Senator Brecht are helping with that, but Bryce is kind of spearheading that. So you'll see more coming on that, but we're hoping to have those those order forms available beginning of October and then have the items to you before Thanksgiving. And then additionally, Bryce is kind of spearheading our newsletter that'll go out the end of each month. So committee chairs, you'll have received a form today. So if you could fill that out and get that back to Bryce. And then anyone else, if there's anything going on in your college with you personally, we'd love to spotlight that. So send any information to Bryce and he'll be happy to get that included. And then also for homecoming, we will be painting a square of Victory Lane. So if anybody is interested in helping with that, either designing or actually painting, if you have any artistic ability, we'd be happy to have you on that. So just reach out to me. And then also, just a quick plug, senators, you are welcome to do your own like pop-up tabling events, so your own college or residency, wherever you'd like. I have a box full of items. We have chip clips and stickers to give out. So if you're interested in that, just connect with me and I can get you all the materials. We had a couple people do that already, so that's pretty exciting. And then we've been working on graphics for the Multicultural Town Hall and then also Outreach Week. So Alejandra will talk a little bit more about that event too.
So we'll go right into Diversity and Inclusion Committee with Director Flores.
Hello. So as I'll continue off where Lydia left off. So we are in the process of confirming everything for the Multicultural Town Hall. So you'll see a bill later today for funding. We're using food as incentive for people to come, and we'll be starting publicity for that on Monday. So quite soon, we're very excited to see what students have to say, and hopefully we get a lot of people interested. Other news from us, we have confirmed the new position created, I think 2 weeks ago now, the Finance Outreach and Reduction of Disparities Director. Senator Claiborne will be filling that position for us this year. Very exciting. It was a great chat that we had, and I'm really happy that we got him on that position. And lastly, we're just reaching out about our at-large committee positions. Thank you to MSA for helping us. They put it on their newsletter, and they've been helping us a lot on the town hall. So that's all I got.
Moving on to Student Initiatives Committee with Senator Debate.
Okay, Student Initiatives now has what is a pretty well thought out, it looks like, meeting time on the weekends. It looks like it isn't working for some people, but whatever. And what else? Oh, I've been talking to some university committees / representatives. I've had a response from dining so far. They seem a little receptive to our ideas to expand the Give a Swipe program. And it looks like they are not doing it this semester. I'm not sure what's going on there, but they said they'd love to have a meeting. So I'm going to talk to people on the committee that were interested in working with that and set up an in-person meeting so we can talk to ISU Dining and sort of chart out things as we go ahead. If you have questions, I'm happy to take them.
All right, we'll move on to Civic Engagement with Senator Paulson.
Hello, my committee, we met last Sunday and just kind of talked about ideas and with tabling and stuff. I also met with Karen Kadowski, if I'm pronounced, yes, thank you. Met with her, she works at Cat Hall, and we were just talking about doing a candidate forum or something for the upcoming school board elections, so yeah.
Moving on to comments from the judicial branch. Do we have Chief Justice here tonight? Perfect.
Hi, everyone. I don't have too much tonight. Just going to go off what I said last week. The court met on Monday for its first meeting regarding the rules of the court. We've gone over the first few sections of it and got a few ideas for changes that we're going to be working on and drafting over the next couple weeks. And then you should see something once we're done with that about a public meeting where everyone can comment on that. And that's all we have right now.
And then comments from the executive branch with President Campbell.
Hey, good evening. I do want to tell the PR committee here that I would love to help with square painting for homecoming week, so I'm all in. With that being said, I've got a couple updates tonight, and this will be in your inbox as the Campbell Scoop, along with an executive order that I'll also be touching on tonight and sending out to you shortly. Update number 1 of 7, I'll make them very brief, would be yesterday the Faculty Senate met. I know that some people in this room were in attendance there. One of the topics of discussion was House File 802 and the implications on campus. Among that, Provost Wickert shared a few statistics related to the fall semester I wanted to pass along. Number 1, new student enrollment is up at Iowa State, with 6,741 new students enrolling for the fall 2021 semester. And the freshman class here at Iowa State is the most diverse class in Iowa State's history, with a record 980 U.S. multicultural freshmen enrolling, representing 18.2% of the freshman class. I have it linked. There's more statistics below in my update. Yesterday, Athletics Council also met. We met in the Innovation Center at the launch pad. We had a wonderful update from the Student Athlete Advisory Council representative Morgan Kane. She's a women's basketball player. She touched on the student athlete experience, name, image, and likeness. And if anyone wants to talk more, I'm happy to share workshops and the athletics budget and the Big 12 expansion. In addition, we touched on initiatives surrounding past letter winner engagement, career fair opportunities for student athletes, and community services or service initiatives that they have ongoing right now. Just to comment on it, the Big 12 expansion, the Big 12 Board of Directors offered 4 extensions of invitations to universities last Friday. All 4 universities accepted. I have that linked in the executive update below, and if anybody has questions, I'm happy to answer. Tomorrow from 8 to 9, Megan and I are meeting with the Board of Regents for the Student Leaders Breakfast. On the topic, we'll give a campus update about the student experience at Iowa State. And in addition to this, we are discussing officially recognizing Juneteenth on campus as a holiday and sexual harassment and sexual assault on college campuses. 9 members of student government are leaving tomorrow after the Board of Regents meeting for Waco, Texas. We're heading down to Baylor University. If you are attending the trip and you're in this room, would you raise your hand? If anybody has questions, please ask any of these members before, during, or after the trip. We might be doing some social media takeovers to share the experience with our social media following and everyone here. We'll give a university presentation about Iowa State. In addition, our Director of Government Affairs, Will Feit, will be leading the discussion focused on priorities for the Big 12 on the Hill Conference that will be held in Washington, D.C., fingers crossed, this spring. Later tonight, you'll see a contract come through in Senate. It's been discussed by Speaker Weathers already about student engagement. We encourage conversation on this, and we look forward to that discussion. But just as a heads up, Finance Director Zastro, Chief of Staff Ludwig, and I had met with Student Legal about this earlier this week. 2 final updates. An executive order is coming through your inbox tonight. There is going to be an establishment of a First Amendment task force to understand how we can be in alignment with Senate File 478 and ensure student government is in compliance with the First Amendment training that is now state law. Finally, there is a Supreme Court justice opening on our Supreme Court. The application is now up thanks to our lovely Director of IT, Jacob Kahn. He got that up in about 4 minutes last night. So with that, I'm happy to answer any questions that you have. So I'd turn it over to anyone for questions.
Okay, thank you. Moving on to external matters, general orders. Just give me the updated one right here. 2021-2-008F, dance marathon line item transfer with Senator Rulli.
Yeah, so if the representative for Dance Marathon wants to come up to the podium, while everyone is here, you can click on the bill. If you'd like, you can click on the memo as well. That's what we'll be looking at. That's what we're referring to. That shows essentially what the line item transfer does. But if the representative wants to introduce himself and tell everybody what the line item transfer is for and a little bit about it.
Hello, my name is Grace. I'm the treasurer of Dance Marathon this year, and I put through 2 line item transfers, one for fall production and then one for for Hanson Ag building rental. Our big event in January is not going to be at the MU this year, like it has been for the past couple of years. So we're exploring our options. And Hanson Ag would be a great opportunity for us and a great partnership with the university. So we would like to be able to afford that because it is a little bit more money than what we have in our budget this year. And then fall production, we have an event next week where we're looking to make more of an impact, have less meetings this year, but make more impactful and meaningful meetings, if that makes any sense. And with that and timing and everything this year, Tealgate ended up not working out, which is where most of the money will be coming from, if that makes any sense. But yeah.
Great. I'll use the rest of my time to ask just 2 quick questions. It says in the line item transfer, you're taking out 400 from the leadership conference line item. Are you just sending, are there less people going to that, or is?
It ended up being moved online because of COVID.
Cool. That answers that, so that's good. And second thing is about the building rentals, about Hanson Ag. According to our P&C, building rentals won't be considered unless free rentals on campus are inadequate or insufficient. Can you describe why you're moving out of the MU and why you're moving into Hanson Ag?
Yes, so with the MU and how big, I'm not sure if any of you have ever been to the big event, but it is like a kind of full weekend process. And with the MU, we would have to pay for the locks to be changed, which is a very, it was this whole ordeal. And since we're not part of the Student Engagement Center anymore, it's even more of an ordeal, and it's kind of not feasible anymore to be at the MU. And we've looked into other locations, and Hanson Ag is available for the day of the big event and then works for us as well.
Awesome. That sounds great. Building rentals are on a case-by-case basis, so I think this is a great opportunity to move them to Hanson Ag. They can we're not giving them any new money, so I would encourage a yes vote on this. I will yield.
Speaker Weathers.
Yeah, I'd just like to direct a question to Senator Rulli. Would you be able to elucidate to the new senators what a line item transfer is, and for anyone in the room who just hasn't familiarized themselves with it yet?
Yeah, essentially what a line item transfer does is moves funds that we allocated during our annual allocations process last year. It's basically we fund stuff on line items, so if they can't do one on line item or something went online like this conference did, or if Tealgate's not being held, we can hear them to transfer it from Tealgate here to a different area that is eligible to be funded by our P&C. So this isn't any funding, any new money. This is money that was already allocated to them. We're just changing what it will be funded for.
Okay, thank you. I yield.
Senator Seth.
It's not working, but I can hear you.
Okay, this one's good. For those who might not be very familiar about what Dance Marathon is and what Dance Marathon does, could you maybe just explain to the group essentially what the big event is and what happens at the big event for Dance Marathon?
Yeah, that would have been a good way to start. But yeah, so Dance Marathon is one of the biggest student organizations on campus. We raise money for CMN hospitals, which ours specifically happens to be the Children's Hospital in Iowa. So we have a couple of families that are like miracle kiddos. So we work with them throughout the year and have events for them. We have 32 right now, and then 3 that have passed away in the 25 years that we've been on campus. So basically, the big event specifically is our biggest fundraising opportunity for the year. It is going to be held on January 22nd this year, which is a Saturday from 9 to 9. And during that time, it's kind of a celebration. You get to hang out with the kiddos. It's like our big moment to tell people we're standing for 12 hours to raise money for the kids. You get as many donations as you can throughout the day, even though you raise money all year. It's kind of just a celebration to get together and do things as an organization. Last year, we ended up raising $184,000, which is about half of what we normally do, but it was a COVID year, as you guys probably hear all the time, so kind of messed up with numbers and everything.
Yeah, thank you for clarifying that. I think this is a great bill. I urge you all to vote yes. As Senator Rulli said, we're not actually like spending more money, we're just changing where it goes. So yeah, with that, I will yield.
Senator Claiborne.
I move to add Senator Lent and Rios to the roll.
Any objection to adding those 2 senators to the roll? They've been added to the roll. Any other discussion? Question has been called for and seconded. Any objection to voting now? Go ahead and go into closing comments with Senator Rulli. No closing comments? All right, we're going to go ahead and go into a roll call vote here since it is a finance bill. So please say yes, no, or abstain once I say your name. Advait? Adigarla? Ulrich?
Yes.
Brecht?
Yes.
Blythe?
Yes.
Carter?
Yes.
Claiborne?
Yes.
Cooper?
Yes.
Crab?
Yes.
DeVore?
Yes.
Philippi? Finaldi? Gates?
Yes.
Goff? Hayes? Lent? Mahoney?
Yes.
Rios? McCready?
Yes.
Paulson? Risvik? Rulli? Seth? Simmons? Stout? Thornton? Wagmeister? Weathers? Zuber? Of a vote of 28 to 0, the bill passes.
Thank you.
Moving on to General Orders 2021-2-010Y, movement to consider as read with Senator Finaldi.
Okay, hello everyone. Sorry, I'm nervous. Yeah, I guess just like last week, I said that I just wanted to bring this to everyone's attention and introduce this new bill, I suppose. And it doesn't really hold too much substantial meaning. And yeah, so if you have any questions.
Speaker Weathers.
Yeah, I'd like to move to adopt the Rules Committee amendments.
Been a motion and a second to adopt the Rules Committee amendments. Any objection? All right, we'll go ahead and go into the discussion period for the amendment.
Is there a call to question?
Is there a call to question? Question has been called for and seconded. Any objection to voting now? Any closing comments on the? All right, unanimous consent has been called for. Any objections to adding those amendments unanimously? All right, back on the main motion now. Any further discussion? Senator Debate.
Yeah, I'm sorry I missed the meeting yesterday, but what is this, from a technical standpoint, what is the language changing from? Oh, Speaker Weathers.
Yeah, the enacted clause that was there added an additional bylaw that would contradict with the previous bylaws. So what we did was just, the amendments were just getting rid of that additional bylaw and then just changing the existing bylaws to reflect the intent of the bill in the first place. So what we did was change, there were words like shall read the legislation in its entirety, and we just changed it to may, which essentially just leaves that option open for senators if they really feel that they need to read the bill in its entirety to give Senate time to take it all in. But it doesn't require them to do that. So we won't have to say title move to consider as read if this bill is passed and signed. But a veto would be pretty funny on it too.
Question has been called for and seconded. Any objection to voting now? Okay, closing comments? No closing comments. We'll go ahead and go into a voting period. Since this is a bylaw, yeah, we'll do a placard vote for this one. Please vote yes, no, or abstain. We'll begin with yeses. All right, noes? Any abstentions? All right, of a vote of 28 to 0, the bill passes. All right, moving on to new business, 2021-2-008SA, approving the advisor contract with student engagement with Speaker Weathers.
Okay, title.
We still have to do that. It's not signed by the president.
All right, thank you, everybody. I would like to move to waive second read.
All right, so it's been a motion to waive second read and seconded. Any objection? All right, well, now we're on the whole bill. It's as we're going to vote on it as is. So, Senator Debate?
Waiving.
Oh, sorry. Speaker Weathers is still talking.
Sorry.
1 second.
Yeah, so this was, ISU After Dark had a vacancy and their advisor was unable to fulfill the role anymore. and student engagement needs someone in that position, and they're unable to do that long term. And they want our advisor, Sophia Sarver, to fulfill that role for a short period of time until they can find somebody new to do that. And so I guess our initial concern with that was that it would be taking hours away from student government that Sophia is paid to be with us on, essentially. And what the contract does is it allows Sophia to spend, I believe, 12 hours a week with ISU after dark, and then student engagement will then have to compensate student government for that time that is lost with us. And yeah, if it's not immediately clear, ask questions. Do read the contract. The language, though, itself looks fine. So I yield.
Senator Debate.
So waiving second read is a pretty non-standard thing to do. Just out of curiosity, is there a time constraint? Is there a, I guess I'm just asking why second read needs to be waived.
Could you yield your time to
Senator
our answer?
Jastrow, I'll pose that as a question.
The contract starts on next Monday. The person who has been filling this role, Christine Heflin, who is also technically one of our advisors, went on maternity leave. She has been filling this role, and so she's gone now. So yeah, it'd just be really great if After Dark can have an advisor, since they do hold a lot of events. Just also while I have the floor, I'll mention from a finance perspective, this is all good to me.
Okay, I yield. And call the question.
Question has been called for and seconded. Any objection to voting now? Go ahead and go into closing comments. No closing comments? All right, so we'll go into yes, no, or abstain. We'll do a placard vote. So start with yeses. Any noes? Any abstentions? All right, I have a vote of 28 to 0 to 0. The bill passes. Moving on to 2021-2-007 SA, approving an advisor, 2021-2-011Y, Chapter 6 rewrite with Senator Philippi. Oh, we do have a second one, excuse me, yeah. So that's 2007 SA, the top of the second page there, with Speaker Weathers.
Title. Okay. This bill only exists because the contract had to be updated. New language was added to the contract, the one that we just approved. So this is basically nullified. The only reason we had to make a whole new bill for it was because we can't technically amend contracts on the floor. We would have to kill the bill, kill the contract, and then submit a new one. So basically what I'm going to ask for is to table this bill indefinitely.
There's been a motion and a second to table this bill indefinitely. Is there any objection? Okay, so this motion's been tabled indefinitely. Moving on to, are we still on this then? Moving on to 2021-2-011Y, Chapter 6 rewrite with Senator Philippi.
Okay, so you will hear more about this, title. Okay, so you'll hear more about this next week, but this is a bill that Eliana and I wrote, and it really just simplifies Chapter 6 of our bylaws. A lot of the bylaws were, they didn't really deal with current operations of student government. I just want to point out some notable changes of the Chapter 6 bylaw rewrite. Include a semesterly presentation from the student advisor to the Senate and allowing comments from the student government advisor at Senate meetings.
Is there any questions of intent for Senator Philippi? All right. Moving on to 2021-2-012F, funding Women's Hockey Club with Senator Rulli.
Title? So Women's Hockey Club had a weird issue last year where they, instead of on our OFP, which is how we fund stuff, they didn't, they edited FY21's budget instead of adding a new one for FY22, so none of their funding was allocated into the big picture bill. It's essentially just a copy of their budget that was pulled from the OFP. So since they have no funding right now, I'm just moving to give them their funding that we approved.
Are there any questions of intent for Senator Rulli? Moving on to 2021-2-013F, funding Multicultural Food for Diversity and Inclusion Committee with Senator Claiborne.
Title?
Consider as read.
So this is just, as Alejandra said earlier, we are having food as an incentive for people to come to our multicultural event that will be held in the Multicultural Center here in the MU.
Any questions of intent? Senator Seth?
Is this food going to be coming from an ISU entity or elsewhere?
Food for the
These have to be yes
no?
or no questions when it's new business, so.
Oh, I need to rephrase that. Is it going to be coming from ISU, an ISU entity, the food?
No.
I yield.
Any more questions of intent? Senator Rios?
Okay, I'm so sorry. Is it an approved vendor of ISU?
Yes.
Awesome.
All right, any more questions of intent? We'll go ahead and move on to closing announcements then. Senator Lent.
I really raised my hand. That's kind of funny. I was just wondering if there's a way that we'll be able to hear what President and Vice President will be talking about for the breakfast. Like
Is
your
it
points.
live streamed? I believe it's live streamed. So I think on the Board of Regents website, it should be on there. And maybe that's something we could put on the social media pages tomorrow.
Yeah, a link would be great because I would love to watch.
Perfect. Senator Advait.
Good evening, y'all. For your weekly lectures update, you have coming up A Question of Values, Weaving Science and Society for Forest Conservation by Dr. Nalini Nadkarni on the 16th of September. That is tomorrow at 7 p.m. on WebEx, so you don't even need to leave your house to watch this. Next up, we have Be Here Tomorrow, The Ripple Effect of Suicide by Kevin Hines. This is part of a collaboration between the Lectures Committee and the Story County Mental Health Expo. That is also virtual on the 21st of September at 6 p.m. So that will be Tuesday, the day before our next Senate meeting. And then, well, this is during Senate, so I probably shouldn't pitch this as much, but it's a great lecture, The Black Holocaust, How the Atlantic Slave Trade Still Affects Us Today by Dr. Keisho Scott on the 22nd at 7 p.m. It's in the Great Hall of the Memorial Union. So in case we're done early or you have friends that might be interested in this, do let them know. I yield.
Senator Seth.
Howdy, y'all. I don't know why I started with that. As Finance Director Zastro mentioned earlier, a Green Initiatives funding application went through Finance Committee yesterday to fund some food and some honorariums for the Fall Sustainability Club Retreat. That is coming up on September 25th, which is a Saturday. It's like one of the few days when there's not a home game. That was intentional. From 10 to 3 in Curtis 127. So basically what this event is we're marketing it mostly towards sustainability organizations on campus. So there's a very large list of sustainability organizations on the Office of Sustainability website. We're marketing that mostly towards them. It's kind of like a workshop for those groups to kind of plan projects that they want to do, but also to market the Green Initiatives Fund to them. If you're not familiar with Green Initiatives Fund, I know there are some new senators in this room. Green Initiatives is basically a $15,000 allocation that we receive over there in the Sustainability Committee every year for people who are working on sustainability projects on campus to apply to for funding. And the fund has been in existence for, like almost 5 years now, I think. It's relatively new, but it's been pretty underutilized. And so part of the the reason why we're hosting this retreat is to kind of advertise that to people. So my point is, if you're interested in going to this retreat, we are not going to say no. It's mostly marketed towards sustainability orgs, but if you're like really interested and you want to like do some stuff with sustainability and learn about like Green Initiatives Fund, you should totally come. Just like hit me up and I can send you the registration link for the conference. It's not really the retreat, and you can sign up there. And also, like, if you know people who are interested in sustainability or people who are in sustainability organizations, please reach out to them and tell them about this. We're really excited about it. This is the first time we're doing it. If you want more information, either talk to me or Elizabeth Smith. I don't think she's here, but either of us can be point of contact for that. So with that, thank you.
Senator Hayes?
First, congrats, Kit, for being the last one who ever got a bill. You got to say title. Also, yeah, this outreach week is going to be awesome. I'm really looking forward to it. I think it's going to be like a great idea, especially because, yeah, outreach is, like, I've been a part of student government since I was like a freshman here, so that's too long. But I don't know, something I've like, that's consistently always been like a problem. So I'm really happy that you're putting more effort towards that. But for people that are looking forward to trying to do that and maybe aren't as confident in like all the information that they should present, or if like you're like thinking about like, oh, I want to like give a presentation in front of my classroom, like maybe try it. And if you're not exactly like sure to say, come up to some of the leaders in the room and hopefully they can help you put something together. Oh, well, I did not know that. Never mind, go up to Christian, he's got it. Thank you.
Senator Cooper?
So, little shameless plug here. If anybody is free on Sunday at 3 p.m., the 3 of the 4, maybe all 4 Iowa State choirs are performing outside of the library, I think. So if you're looking for something to do and it's not going to be that hot, it should be pretty nice. Come listen to some pretty music and support your choirs, of which I'm a part of. I'm not just some random fan.
Senator Rios?
I'll be super quick. So SciRide is hiring, starting at $16, and there's a $1,000 hiring bonus. So if you're looking for a job, that's a great option. Ludwig and I were in a meeting just now before this one, and there has been an increase in ridership compared to the last 2 years, so that's good news. And use SciRide because you're paying for it. So, okay, thank you.
Finance Director Zastro?
Sorry, y'all. I feel like I have one of these every week. I forgot to say this during my thing earlier. I sent out the account totals as part of the weekly report to you guys, and the special projects one might be a little bit off. That is because a carryover request bill that we passed this spring and that was signed and everything by the president never made it to COA somehow, which means that they never had a carryover, so we're having to do a little bit on the back end on that. Everything's going to be fine, but the total might just be a little bit off for now, so that's the little thing that I attached to that the little section. Me, Julie, and Megan all have our office hours posted now outside of our door in the executive office, so if you guys ever want to meet with us, those times we are available. And then if I could meet with Sophie, Seth, and Liz after the meeting, and then also people who are going on the trip to Waco. Great, thank you.
Senator McCready? Oh, sorry. We'll have President Campbell go first. You're all good.
I just wanted to provide an update on an email that I got forwarded to me from former Chief of Staff Caitlin Rowling. Caitlin is living in Chicago, Illinois, working using her chemical engineering degree. So great things from Caitlin. And she had forwarded Chief of Staff Ludwig, Megan, and myself an email about the campus sidewalk lighting improvement project that was taking place in previous years. We got an update from Caleb Bardison today. He's an electrical project engineer with facilities planning and management, to update us and say that the 5 solar sidewalk lights have been installed and they work great, exclamation point. There are 4 in front of the armory and 1 in front of physics. They're working right now on getting some lettering added to them, indicating that they were funded by student government. So please check them out and see how it goes.
Senator McCready?
All right, sweet, I got it. All right, so thanks guys for a great meeting tonight. I do want to let you all know that Delta Upsilon is having their philanthropy tonight called Delta Scoopsilon. It's going until 9 o'clock tonight. So the money they raise will send undergraduates within the DU fraternity to places like Jamaica to build beneficial buildings, such as an elementary school for those in the community. So if you have time, please stop by and help them out. Thank you.
All right, I have a quick announcement. For any of you new senators, one of the things you get to do as a senator is be on a committee, and that can be a committee within student government or a university committee. And so there's still open spots on the Transportation Advisory Council as well as the Electors Committee. So if you're interested in either of those being the committee you're a part of, please let me know, and we'd love to have you sit on one of those. And I have more information about both of them, so just let me know. And then I guess one more thing, I was in the Senate office today, and a couple times people still didn't have card access to the Senate office, so please let Mason know or I know if you don't, and we can get that figured out hopefully soon. Yes, Sophia. Oh, let Sophia know. Yeah, we just pass it along. It's just a chain pretty much. Anyway, we'll go ahead and go to closing announcements with our vice speaker and speaker. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought that was...
Hello, everyone. I'm so sorry. I wanted to say if you have card issues, please let me know. I work with Bridget, our office coordinator, to get you guys all card access, but I had a different announcement if that's okay. Okay, so I wanted to say thank you for approving the contract. We do have some things going on in student engagement right now, but we're working on filling positions, but I still wanted to let you guys know that I am always here for you, and if you ever need anything, I'm an email away, you guys like to call me, I'm a phone call away, and I do come to the Senate office and the executive office quite a bit, and you guys can always visit me in my office. My other point is I am also going to Waco with the rest of the people on Big 12, so I will be out of the office the next 2 days, but I am still technically working, so please send me emails, and I'll be approving things if you need to send anything through. And then please expect an email from me towards the end of the month about some stuff coming up in October and November. So with that, I'm done. Thank you for letting me talk, and goodbye.
Now, any closing announcements from our vice speaker and speaker?
That's so loud. Everyone got their office hour done last week, so congratulations. Making me very happy on that. New senators, your mentors were emailed out to you. Same with, yeah. So make sure to meet up before the end of September. Also, I'm choosing gratefulness today. I absolutely adore all of you and your voices and your minds and your time here. It's such a good environment this year, and I'm really happy, so thank you so much.
Yeah, I barely have anything at all. Thank you guys for a great meeting. It was a short meeting. We will be seeing much more in the coming weeks, so don't expect them all to be this short, unfortunately. But yeah, I don't think I have anything else. I move to adjourn. Go Cyclones.
Is there a second? Seeing no objections, this meeting is adjourned. The shortest meeting I think we're ever going to have.